All right, if you're a real estate agent, you know this feeling all too well. You've got this amazing listing, but for whatever reason, it just sits. Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down a really powerful strategy that's designed to get those properties moving and fast.
It's such a familiar scenario, isn't it? A property hits that 90-day mark, and every single day that goes by feels like a huge missed opportunity, not just for you, but for your client too. I mean, this is one of the most frustrating problems in our business, but you know what? It really doesn't have to be a dead end.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll dig into the problem itself. Then, we'll introduce a new financing solution. I'll walk you through exactly how it works, we'll cover the huge benefits, and then we'll get to the best part, actually getting your listing sold.
Okay, let's get right to it. We're talking about that stagnant listing. You know the one. It's been sitting there for 90 days, maybe more. It's an absolute momentum killer for your business and, let's be honest, a massive source of stress for your client.
So often, we get stuck in the traditional way of doing things, just crossing our fingers, right? Just hoping that perfect bank-approved buyer is going to magically show up. But we all know that hope is not a strategy. It's time to stop waiting around and start making things happen.
And this is where things get really interesting. Instead of watching your options shrink day by day, what if you could blow them wide open? This solution is all about tapping into a much bigger pool of buyers who are ready to go. Just think about all those fantastic, capable people who traditional banks often overlook. You know, entrepreneurs, self-employed folks, people with great income, but maybe a non-traditional credit history. This strategy brings all of them back into play.
So what is this method? It's called temporary seller financing. And honestly, the concept is super simple. Your client, the seller, basically acts as the bank for the buyer, but only for a short, specific amount of time. We're not talking about some 30-year commitment here. These deals are structured to be all wrapped up in 12 years or even less.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Sounds complicated, maybe a little risky for my client. But that's the real beauty of this whole system. The process is incredibly straightforward. And this is the crucial part. It's all managed by a professional third party. That means the burden is completely off your seller's shoulders.
This is where a service provider, for example, Nationwide Real Estate Acquisitions LLC, comes into the picture. They handle all the heavy lifting. I'm talking about the underwriting, all the paperwork, managing the payments, making sure everything's compliant, the whole shebang. It just ensures the transaction is smooth and professional for everyone.
Okay, so what does this actually look like for your homeowner? It's a simple three-part structure. First, they get a nice lump sum payment right at closing. Second, they receive steady monthly payments for a set period. And third, the whole thing wraps up with a final balloon payment down the road.
And get this, forget about waiting another 90 days. The goal here is to hit the accelerator and get that listing from active to sold in 45 days or less. I mean, for a property that's been collecting dust for months, that is an absolute game changer.
All right, let's break down the benefits, because this isn't just about being fast. It's about creating a true win-win situation for both you and your client.
I mean, just look at this comparison. It's pretty much night and day, right? On one side, you've got the old way, waiting around for banks, a tiny pool of buyers, and you're always worried about those lowball offers. Then, on the other side, a 45-day close, a massive buyer pool, and the ability to sell at full asking price. The difference is just wow.
Let's just pause on this number for a second. 100%. Think about that. If your client owns their property free and clear, this method makes it completely possible for them to sell for their full asking price. No more haggling, no low offers, just the number they wanted from the very beginning.
And the good news for your client just keeps on coming. A servicing company handles all the payments, so no one's chasing down money every month. The buyer has to get mortgage protection insurance, which is great for security. You get a buyer who is already pre-screened and Dodd-Frank compliant, so all the federal rules are covered. And maybe the best part of all, there are zero, and I mean zero, upfront fees for you or your client.
So, we've covered all the great stuff for the seller, but what about you, the agent? Let's get right down to it, the bottom line. Your commission.
This is it. This is what it all comes down to. Your commission gets paid in full right at the close of escrow. There's no waiting around, no uncertainty. You do the work, you close the deal, you get paid. It's just like a traditional sale, only a whole lot faster.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. By only focusing on those traditional, bank-approved buyers, are you actually overlooking the perfect person for your property? Is it possible that the key to selling your stagnant listing isn't waiting at a bank at all?